Good evening. You're watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos leaves the Sultanate today for the Kingdom of Belgium to conduct some medical checkups which will take a short period of time. Sultan's Armed Forces celebrates the Retiree Day, which falls on the 7th of December every year. And the growth percentage in tourists to the Sultanate reached 13%, and the total tourism production is 1.4 billion Omani riyals. Good evening once again, and thank you for joining us. Live from this news center of the Sultanate of Oman television, here we present to you the details of this news bulletin. A statement issued by the Diwan of the Royal Court states that His Majesty Sultan Qaboos leaves the country today, Saturday, the 7th of December, for the Kingdom of Belgium to conduct some medical checkups, which will take a short period of time. May Allah protect His Majesty as a source of pride for the dear homeland and His loyal people. Sultan's Armed Forces and other military formations in the Ministry of Defense celebrates today Armed Forces Retirees Day in recognition of retirees' long services and dedication to their country. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos has marked the 7th of December every year a day for the Armed Forces retiree. The day commemorates the noble accomplishments and sacrifices made by military personnel on their line of sacred duty. Armed Forces Retirees Day comes to award all those who have honorably served and contributed to build this nation. The added value of tourism sector in the Sultanate increased to 7% at the end of the last year, which recorded more than 788 million Omani riyals. The total tourism production of the Sultanate reached 1.4 billion Omani riyals by the end of 2018, where the local tourism represented about 51% and the foreign tourism formed 49%. The data listed at the Tourism Statistics Bulletin pointed out that the number of tourists visited the Sultanate has shown a continuous growth at an average of 13% during the last 8 years. With the participation of more than 3,000 orthopedic surgeon, activities of the 40th Orthopedic World Congress concluded in Oman Convention and Exhibition Center. The Congress is organized by the International Society of Orthopedic Surgery and Traumatology, COAT, in partnership with the Pan-Arab Orthopedic Association and a support from the Ministry of Health and Ministry of Tourism. The Congress was preceded by the 9th COAT Educational Day with the theme of trauma. The day focused on all the elements of trauma surgery, from anatomy and surgical approaches to complex case discussions, attended by the international experts in traumatology to share their experiences. International news. U.S. Peace Envoy Zalmay Khalilzad held today the first official talks with Afghanistan's Taliban since President Donald Trump declared a near certain peace deal with the insurgents dead in September. A statement said the talks will initially focus on getting a Taliban promise to reduce violence, with a permanent ceasefire being the eventual goal. Khalilzad has spoken about including in the negotiations all sides in the conflict. Taliban have so far refused direct talks with the Afghan government. Meanwhile, Washington resumed talks with the Taliban in Qatar today, 3 months after President Donald Trump abruptly halted diplomatic efforts that could end America's longest war. South Korea's President Moon Jae-in and U.S. President Donald Trump agreed during a phone conversation to maintain dialogue with the nuclear-armed North, with the two allies noting the situation had become grave. Denuclearization negotiations have been at a standstill since a summit in Hanoi broke up in February, and pressure is rising as an end-of-year deadline to offer concessions set by Pyongyang for Washington approaches. Military students opened fire yesterday at a U.S. Naval base, killing 3 people before being shot dead by the police. The shooting, which took place in a classroom building at a Naval Air Station, Pensacola in Florida, left 8 others wounded, including 2 sheriff's deputies who responded to the attack. Commanding Officer Captain Timothy Kinsella said the shooter was an aviation trainee, one of a couple hundred foreign students at the base. 6 people were detained following the shooting, including 3 who were seen filming the entire attack. Police say the gunman was armed with a handgun that had been purchased locally. The Pensacola Naval Air Station hosts 16,000 military personnel and more than 7,000 civilians, and is home to a flight demonstrations squadron. Now to Australia. Out-of-control bushfires forced residents in eastern Australia to flee their homes today as other parts of the country braced for a heat wave due next week. Scientists said that this year's season has come earlier and with more intensity due to a prolonged drought and climatic conditions fueled by global warming. Scorching temperatures have tipped about 40 degrees Celsius close to where a fire was burning on the outskirts of Brisbane in Queensland's state, with residents in 3 suburbs told to leave immediately. More than 100 fires were burning across Australia's east today, including a mega fire burning north of Sydney. The pilot of a helicopter supporting the fire efforts was lucky to escape with just minor injuries after crashing about 200 kilometers north of Sydney today. You're watching the Sultanate of Oman television, and yet to come in our news bulletin. The Governorate of Al-Dhahira marks the International Day for People with Disabilities. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. The data issued by Central Bank of Oman pointed the continuous growth in financing by Islamic banks and outlets to reach about 4 billion Omani riyals at the end of last September. The total deposits of the Islamic banks increased to reach 3.5 billion Omani riyals, and the total assets of Islamic banks reached 4 billion and 800 million Omani riyals, to increase its share at the banking sector to 13%. Now, to take e-payment services to a completely new level, Ooredoo launched a new electronic application on smartphone in cooperation with the National Bank of Oman under the name Pay Plus. The new app offers services to the bank clients to transfer money from bank to bank inside and outside Oman. The application also allows clients to pay for products and service in various shopping outlets. The new smartphone application has obtained the necessary approvals and licenses from Telecommunication Regulatory Authority and Central Bank of Oman. More than 60 sports teachers have completed Sports Young Leadership Program. The 5-day program targeted sports teachers in Dhahira Governorate. The program was organized by the British Council in cooperation with Oman School Sports Association and the Ministry of Sports Affairs. The program aimed at promoting sports leaders in schools and equipped students, teachers and trainees with necessary skills and capacities in managing sports events and competitions. Meanwhile, in Al-Dhahira, Oman Association for the Disabled in the Wilayah of Ibri in the Governorate of Al-Dhahira held a ceremony to mark the International Day of People with Disabilities. The event was presided over by His Highness Sayyid Mohammed bin Salim Al Said. Our reporter Saleh bin Khalfan Al-Rahbi was there and has these details.
December 3rd every year is observed as the International Day of People with Disabilities. Hence, Oman Association for the Disabled in the Wilaya of Ibri in Al-Dhahira Governorate held a ceremony to mark this day.
It is very important for these people who are disabled because we need, to take their hands in order to be part of this in this society, and also to help them in the future and to be part of the people also.
This day is important to recognize with people with disabilities and help them be part of development.
The event reflected the care and attention given to people with disabilities, besides focusing on ways to deal with the challenges facing them to lead a happy and stable life.
Oman Association for the Disabled works to include people with disabilities in the society through many programs and activities.
During the ceremony, Ahmed bin Mubarak Al-Jadidi, an Omani inventor, revealed his latest innovative device to help people with quadriplegia take control of the electrical appliances in the room while they are on bed. The celebration included several artistic and theatrical performances presented by children of Al-Wafa Rehabilitation Centers for Disabled Children in the wilayas of Ibri, Yanqal and Dank, during which they demonstrated their abilities and talents in the artistic and literary fields.
This occasion is an opportunity to enhance integrating people with disabilities in the community and nurture their potentials to contribute in the sustainable development of the country. صالح بخلفان الرحبي, ولاية of عبري, الظاهرة, Governorate.
And now let's move to the general weather forecast around the Sultanate. Clear skies will prevail over most of the governorates with chances of low clouds and fog late at night and early morning. Over the coast of Arabian Sea, cloudy skies with chances of intermittent drizzle are expected over the governorate of Al-Dhafar. Winds will be southeasterly light to moderate. Seas will be slight to moderate with a maximum wave height of 1.5 meters. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos leaves the Sultanate today for the Kingdom of Belgium to conduct some medical checkups, which will take a short period of time. Sultan's Armed Forces celebrates the Retiree Day, which falls on the 7th of December every year. And the growth percentage in tourists to the Sultanate reached 13%, and the total tourism production is 1.4 billion Omani riyals. And with that, we do conclude this news bulletin brought to you live from this news center of the Sultanate of Oman Television. Thank you for joining us and good night.